So we all know that ranked control can be super chaotic, but if you want to consistently win and not just get lucky, you have to play smart. In this video, I'll give you practical, easy to apply strategies that you can use to win your next control game. These tips will help you take and hold the control points, preserve your team's spawns, and outthink your opponents. Make sure you stay till the end because I'll have a really awesome bonus tip for you that you won't want to miss out on. Alright guys, let's get into it. So the first tip that I have for you would be build two loadouts, one for short range and one for long range. Control is all about balance, so you need these loadouts to help you make aggressive pushes and help you lock down your defense. That's why I always bring at least two loadouts into ranked, one for short range and one for long range. I prefer the Amos 85 for the long range, and I have a build just for that down in the description if you'd like to check that out. I also like to use the Jackal for the short range. Now, here lately I've been using it with the iron sights, but I have a build that I like to use for search and destroy, and I've also linked that build down in the description if you'd like to check it out. So generally, you're going to want to use a short range weapon when you're attacking and a long range weapon whenever you're defending. Use a short range class when you're attacking. You'll be clearing rooms, contesting points, and getting into chaotic fights up close. Now when you're defending, make sure that you use that long range build because it'll help you hold down the angles, watch those lanes, and shut down flanks from a distance. Keep in mind, every map plays a little different, and so does every team. Some enemies play aggressive, others will hang back. And when you have both setups ready, you can just swap between them depending on what's working and what's not. Speaking of switching, the second tip that I have for you would be to adapt. Guys, if your current setup isn't cutting it, then make sure that you switch when you respawn. Don't keep making those ego pushes and draining your friendly spawns. Doing this is just making it harder for you and your teammates. For example, don't keep pushing with a short-range weapon if you're getting picked off across the map. Respawn, change that loadout, and reapproach the fight. That quick adjustment could be the reason that you and your team win the round. Tip number 3 is simple. Know your map control zones. Each control map has high traffic lanes and strongholds. These are where the enemies will repeatedly make their way towards the points or defend around the points and kind of camp and watch and see what's going on. You need to learn where these high traffic routes are so that you can anticipate the enemy's next move. You need to flank when the direct approach is not working and control these routes, not just the zone, okay? Which leads into my next tip for you guys. Make sure that you spend some time reading the enemy, track the traffic, and predict their routes. Pay attention to where the enemies are coming from. Are they funneling through the mid-map? Are they repeatedly flanking one side? Start anticipating these routes and cut them off. By cutting them off before they reach the point, you can exhaust the enemy lives faster, which, in turn, will make it a lot easier for you to gain the advantage. And surprise, surprise, this works whether you're attacking or defending. Now, when you're having fun and just running in and just not really thinking about things too much, right? It's hard to keep up with tip number 5. But tip number 5 is actually one of the most important tips that I can give you for ranked control. And that is, every spawn should count. In control mode, every life matters, okay? Try to make every respawn count. Go for trades, play smart, and don't waste lives on ego pushes. If you can eliminate 2 to 3 enemies before going down, you're actually shifting the tide in your team's favor. Don't feed the enemy, okay? If the enemy's got a point locked down and you keep dying trying to retake it, just stop, okay? Don't keep feeding lives to a lost cause. Instead, go the other way. Rotate, flank, and do your best to not die. Preserve your team's spawns by staying alive and making smarter plays. Tip number 6 is to use your angles and your vantage points. Use the map's natural high ground and off angles to your advantage. Be aware of what part of your character's body is visible to the enemy. If you're peeking a corner and your shoulder is peeking out too far, you're going to get picked off before you can even see them. So make sure you're holding the correct angles. Using angles and vantage points in Control will help you control where the enemy moves. If you can catch them mid-route when they're not expecting a fight, you'll win more engagements and help your team cap or defend more effectively. Tip number 7. Use comms if you can. When you communicate and assign roles in ranked, it can make a huge difference. If one person can hold mid while you hold the side and another person holds a vantage point where they can see over everyone, for example, then this will help you guys win a lot more strategically. Rushing in and just trying to get lucky while you're doing it Rambo style, that usually just doesn't work. As good as you might be tactical sprinting around, you're no match for the entire team over and over again. Because let's face it, I've seen my teammates try to 1v17 before, and it's not a pretty sight. So even if you're solo queuing, start communicating with your team. If you're not using a mic, start pinging where you see the enemies at. This will help people recognize where the traffic's coming from and help people just kind of play better because they'll know where to expect people. So those are my core strategies for winning more Control matches in Ranked. If this helped, drop a like and a sub. And leave me a comment and let me know what setup you're running, or which tip was your favorite in this video. You can also leave me a comment on what you'd like to see next. Thanks for attending class today. I hope you have a great one.